This light switch is a standard light switch that I'm going to swap out so I can put in a Lutron motion sensing light switch that will go on and off with a couple different settings. It can either be pushed on, it can be used as a motion sensor so that it detects occupancy or activity in the room, and it can also just be set that it shuts off automatically after a certain period of time. So a couple tips on buying one of these type of light switches is that when you go to buy one, you want to make sure, one, does it have all of the functions that you need for your particular application. Now this one here is what is called a single or multiple pole, meaning single pole is one switch operates one light versus a dual pole, which is having two switches operating one light. Think of the top and bottom of your staircase and your light fixture. So you want to make sure that you're buying the right one for whatever configuration you need. So this one is a single pole and a three-way switch. So this one will work in my laundry room because I have another switch over there, but I'm putting the sensor here because it'll catch people walking in from either direction, and again, it'll also shut off the light when nobody else is in the room. So that's the ultimate plan. So I'm going to show you very briefly how to take out the old one. I have taken off the switch plate cover, and there is a screw at the top and the bottom of the old switch in the box. So just take the two screws out. I'd already taken the other one out. Now, of course, number one thing that happened before this was the power was killed. So we've got artificial light stands going because the power is off, and we verified that. So pull your switch out from the box a little bit. Using a screwdriver, you're going to find the copper wires attached to the green ground screw. So you're going to remove or loosen that screw so you can get your ground wire free. You'll notice that it has a little hook on the end. Release this screw head or terminal screw, and I had already marked this that this is a load line. I'm sorry, the load wire, meaning it loads power to the next in the series. So that one is marked and set aside. Here, you're also going to remove the two wires that are tucked under the terminal screw heads. Now I can set my old switch aside. The new switch does not have terminal screw heads, so we are going to want to straighten all of these little shepherd's hook into straight wires, and you can use your wire cutters to do that. Most of the switches are marked up so you know which way is facing. This one is a little different in that it has a green ground wire, and it also has a secondary ground. I've not seen this before, but that means you're going to take this ground wire, and this ground wire. You're going to take the three wires, you're going to twist them together so that they wrap around the copper ground from the house, and then you are going to put an electrical cap on them. I like to finish off all my connections with a little bit of electrical tape so that I know everything stays tucked in its cap. Following the directions that come with your individual switch, it'll tell you which wire connections to make. In this case, black to black and capped. Black to black and cap. The wire from the house is a hard, stiff copper wire. The wire from the switch is a soft filamentous wire. You want to wrap this one around a little bit so that it stays tight and twisted around the tip of the hard copper, and then apply your cap. Electrical caps have steel threads in the tip that grip the tip of the metal, and then they create the conduction to allow the electricity to flow safely inside the caps. You want to make sure that the wires are tucked all the way in and there's no copper or metal hanging out. And then wrap with some tape. At this point, all of the wire connections have been made. There may be some different wires that you're going to find in whatever manufacturer's switch you use. Follow the directions as best you can. Sometimes the directions are a little challenging because what you have in the wall might be different than what they say is on the paper. So There are other YouTube videos. There are some videos directly from companies that will walk you through the specifics of their particular switch installs. But now I'm going to gently take these connections of wire, fold them and tuck them neatly. You want to make sure that you keep the wires in the caps snug, and you're going to tuck everything into the box. Push them all back, and then you're going to take the screws that you got with it and secure the outlet to the box. When I went to do this, the screws that came with it were not long enough, so I had to go to my toolbox and get longer screws. Now you go turn the power back on at the breaker and check your light. Each of these motion sensors come with some settings, so you can set it whether you want it on for a minute, 5 minutes, they all vary. So read the instructions and just follow the step-by-step guide, and boom, you will have your motion light.